Hello, everyone. Welcome to Give Me a Break Formula One edition. This is Munee.
And I'm Rob.
We'll be reviewing the Australian Grand Prix 2026. As we get started, I just want to say, watching a champion like Max Verstappen spin out and hit the wall in Q1 of qualifying, and then watching Oscar Piastri, championship contender from last year, spin out and hit the wall before the race has even started, before the formation lap on race day, is embarrassing. It's not what we want to see. We don't want to see the absolute most elite race car drivers of our sport spin out and hit the wall as if they don't know how to drive a car. And okay, it's race one of year one of the new regulations. And so the headlines are, everyone just needs to get used to the new cars. That's what we should have testing for. So I have a gripe with Bahrain testing. Basically, in my ideal world, Bahrain testing, everybody gets to be on the grid, do qualifying and race as you would during race weekend, but it's test. That's what for me is testing. And fair enough, like testing at the moment, how Bahrain is set up is effective to test out how the car is coming together. It's effective for collecting data and on the engineering side, see how things are performing, but it's not effective for the car and the driver to assimilate. The driver is the one driving the product. It feels like a product testing environment rather than an actual team testing environment, because half the component of the entire thing is the driver being able to drive the car. By the time the first Grand Prix comes around, if the driver actually hasn't been in a racing environment in the car, then we see crash outs like we did with Max and Oscar. And also we've got people paying considerable amount of money to go to the Grand Prix.
Yes.
Australia should not be treated as an extension of testing from Bahrain. It's the start of the season. We should be able to have our teams fully prepared, ready to race.
We'll say on that though, is with testing, it's more of a data collection for the teams in semi-race conditions. So you've got longer stints, like 20, 30 laps in one go. You basically, teams are getting data collection on their power units, on their, how the design of the car is, everything like that. Different conditions in Bahrain, you've got high winds, different temperature changes. So I can understand from a team's point of view, and they don't obviously want to show their hand, or in Aston Martin's case, which I'm representing sadly today with the hat, but in their case, they're nowhere and they have no hand to show at the moment. So, but yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from in the point of the paying customer. You travel all the way to Melbourne, you kind of want to see a competitive race, you want to see the best of the best, and for the amount that Ticketmaster charge, I know, because last year I wanted to go, but I couldn't get any tickets. Yeah, dynamic pricing is a fail for me.
Rob was in Australia last year during race weekend and wasn't able to go because you just couldn't secure tickets. And
No.
You were on that for a long time.
There was a huge debacle. The website crashed like 3 times. Third time unlucky because I didn't get any tickets. And yeah, it was just already got the tickets, the flights booked and everything. So I ended up just having a holiday in Australia last year.
Yeah. And we got to hang out.
Yes, we did. That was fun. What I will say though, race weekend last year in Melbourne was horrific because the weather, it was raining, everything. I was on the Sunshine Coast and it was beautiful sunshine.
So yeah, watching Oscar spin and crash out and not even able to race was just disappointing, to say the least. Just imagine how he feels.
Obviously, for an Australian fan, you have one driver. He's on the grid and then he's not able to start. Like, is it soul destroying for you? Because I mean, for example, British drivers, we've got 4 or 5 of them. So if one driver goes off, if Lando Norris, world champion, goes off, well, we've got Lewis Hamilton. Well, we've got Ollie Behrman, Arvin Lindblad. So it's not as soul destroying. Whereas I feel like from an Aussie point of view,
rubbing it in, Rob.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously, a lot of people who were at the Grand Prix would have gone to support Oscar. Absolutely. And it is very, very disappointing. It's not what you want to see. Personally, for me, when it's an individual sport, like tennis, and technically Formula One is a team sport, but you're just like you're individually racing your cars. Patriotism makes less of an influence when I'm watching individual sports. Like, it's more of a thing when it's team sports.
Sure.
Because usually if you're playing as a team, you're representing the country. Unless it's a league like NBA, but if it's an international sport and you're playing in like an international tournament, an individual
Right.
sport, I would still say for me it's more about personalities and who you're personally backing. Like, I think Oscar's great. I was backing him last year to win.
We all
But
were.
if somehow Hamilton managed to, with Ferrari, miraculously get to the top of the leaderboard, I would be backing him, because he's my guy.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, drivers basically represent their teams, and the teams don't exactly represent the country. However, just like in the tennis, I always follow the Brits. Saying that though, my driver is Fernando Alonso, so got his hat here.
Very cool.
Yeah,
When
so
did you get that?
a couple of years ago, I think it was. I had many hats of Fernando, Ferrari, McLaren. I think I binned the McLaren one actually because it was so bad. 2016, I think that was. So yeah, but I can see your point.
If Mercedes was playing Alex de Minaur, Alex is obviously, he's very popular in Australia. We love to back him. He's such a likable character. But if he's playing Mercedes, I'm backing Mercedes, you know?